America, one of the world's classic road racing venues, has been host to every important North American racing series, beginning with SCCA sports cars in the 1950s to Can-Am and Trans Am in the 60s and 70s, IMSA's GT and GTP cars since the 1970s, and Indy cars beginning in 1982. NASCAR ran their first race at Road America back in 1956 and won by the legendary Tim Flock. The June Sprints, put on annually for more than 50 years by the SCCA's Chicago region, draws 600-plus amateur sports car racers and as many as 30,000 spectators. The current schedule also includes vintage and motorcycle racing. One of the unique aspects of Road America is that it is beloved both by spectators, who are afforded a variety of spectacular views, and by drivers who value the challenges the track presents. While Road America enjoys a rich tradition, it's not a prisoner of its history. A recent upgrade to the facility saw spectator viewing and paddock access improved by the replacement of the Bill Mitchell Bridge with a tunnel 100 yards further down the road. A further nod to the performance gains wrought by modern technology is the addition of an optional chicane at Road America's famous kink in the back straightaway, providing a second configuration for race series that don't wish to expose their drivers to one of motorsport's biggest thrills every 4 miles. Tonight, it's the stars of the PFR Sports Car Championship as they take on the track for round 11, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Road America. Such a storied venue, one of my favorite places to really call a race, run a race, go to, whatever you want to call it. It's just a great racetrack all across the board. Let's not beat around the bush a little bit here. Let's go right into the race details. Of course, the weather here, 75-degree ambient temperature, 60% humidity, partly cloudy skies, somewhat breezy, 11 miles per hour. Again, a 60-minute sprint race. Qualifying already underway, so let's just get right down to it and see who's on the track first. Who's going to be quick? Well, let's check it in with Terry Crouch. Terry rolling through turns 9 and 10. The carousel, setting himself up for the kink. Wide open throttle through the kink. That is just a scary preposition in any race car, let alone an LMP2. One driver to take note of here tonight, Elliott Hellier back behind the wheel, albeit not in a GT car. He's going to be in an LMP2 as Terry Crouch goes 151.069. Hellier goes P1, minute 50.873. Runs a little wide, gets the left sides of the race car in the grass, and I think he's going to give it up. See, unfortunately, Elliott Hellier is classified still as a GT3 driver. Nothing I can do to change that, so he's going to show up as pole position in GT. A minute 58.73 was Hellier's time. Terry Crouch, a minute 51.069. You see it in the timing tower. It's going to be a little askew. Again, Hellier, a GT driver, but out there this week in an LMP2. trying to see if there's anything more I can do to correct that. Tried a bunch of times. Looks like we're just going to have to live with it. Checking in GT, Josh Heggie fastest thus far, 2:04.64, his best lap. Got a 15-minute session, 3 laps. Heggie taking it nice and slow. I don't know if he's going to try and speed things up here and get another lap in or not. Good to see Kevin Burrows back behind the wheel. Another TLDR Sim Sport driver in the BMW here this weekend. It's a last-minute effort here. Flo Doms didn't think he was going to make the race in time. Was able to get in just as qualifying gets underway, so he's going to likely use all of this time not only to lay down some qualifying laps, but also try to get somewhat comfortable, shake this race car down before we go green flag racing here in about 7 or 8 minutes. Again, those of you just joining us, you're going to see Elliott Hellier listed as a GT3 driver in the standings. He's in an LMP2 this week, switching classes. Unfortunately, once the season starts, nothing that I can do, at least that I have figured out, to switch that up so that Hellier displays in the proper car. So your eyes don't deceive you. He did not run a minute 50.8 in a GT car. That was an LMP2 lap, so he sits P1 currently. Terry Crouch, a minute 51.069. Almost a full second slower than Hellier. That's just unbelievably fast. Flo not wasting a ton of time. He seems to be well up to pace. Heading down into Canada corner. Flo out of turn 14 up the hill. Let's see what kind of time he can lock in. We expect him to be fast. Minute 52.161 for Flo Doms. Puts him third quick. Brian Zinn on the racetrack, currently fourth in GT. Again, we've got a slight issue in the timing tower. Elliott Hellier in the session as an LMP2 driver, still categorized as GT. So every number you see below the race leader in GT category, whether it's qualifying or the race itself, just deduct one, provided that Elliott Hellier maintains his status within this race. Again, he's in an LMP2 category car, which means he's only going to show up in the GT category because that's what he's run previously. He won't show up in LMP2, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that, try and figure out exactly where Hellier is running within his class. As we watch Brian Zinn in that Porsche, that's a good-looking race car, I've got to admit. Out of turn 14. Best lap so far, 2:05.19 for Brian Zinn. Let's see if he can best that as he comes up the hill, cross start finish. Last lap 2:05.546 does not improve for Brian Zinn. Mike Piazza also in a Porsche this week. .205.94 was Piazza's best lap. Does he get better? No, that is his best lap. The most recent was on 2:06.359. Not able to improve. In fact, about 4/10 slower for Piazza. He currently sits P6 in GT. Again, reminder, Hellier, not a GT driver, as you can tell by the 14 seconds faster lap. Drew Hopkins looks like a newcomer this week in a Ferrari. 2:06.57, his best lap. Andrew Locke in the stream chat. Terry's not on pole. Come on. Well, it's another TLDR SimSport driver, Elliot Hellier, jumping over to LMP2 this week. He's fastest, a minute 50.8. But with that said, we've got a few minutes officially left in the session, and we're going to jump out and get a quick break. We'll be back with our starting grid after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back in Road America, let's take a look at our starting grid. On the pole in LMP with a lap time of 1 minute 50.873. It's Elliott Hellier. Outside front row, Terry Crouch, though I think he's got to go to the back. He starts second. Row number 2, Chris Generelli starts third. Fourth goes to Flo Doms. Fifth starter is Kevin Blue. Sixth position is going to be Sean Roberts. Starting in the 7th spot, Lee Tucker. 8th goes to Brandon Domain. 9th place starter is going to be James Coulibaly. Last in LMP2. On the pole in GT, it's Joshua Hagee. Starting second, Kevin Burrows. Third, Dave Seitz. Fourth, Brian Zinn. 5th place starter, Daniel Klar. 6th is Mike Piazza. Rob Henry will roll 7th. 8th position is going to be Nick Matthews. 9th goes to Drew Hopkins. 10th starter, Nick Batista. Joe Tucker will start 11th. 12th goes to Jesse Redding. Chris Goins will roll off from the 13th spot. And 14th is Mike Hamlin with Limitless Motorsports. It's your starting grid here from Road America. Field already starting to separate. Again, staggered start between the prototype category and GT. Chris Goins reporting some hardware issues on his end. Not sure if he's going to make it into the session. It's actually a few drivers, Drew Hopkins, Chris Goins, Mike Hamlin, yet to take to the grid. See what happens with those 3 drivers. It's a shame if they cannot make it. So with Terry Crouch going to the back, it still leaves 2 TLDR SimSport drivers on the front row. Flo Doms, Elliott Hellier. Now, a word to think about here. Flo Doms did not get any practice laps in here at Road America. If I remember correctly, I think it's the wife's birthday, so girlfriend, wife, not sure. Might be putting the cart before the horse there, unless Elliott proposed tonight, you never know. But nonetheless, he was here, got a few laps in qualifying. Halfway decent lap. I'm just going to assume here he's going to get faster and faster as this race gets deeper into its session. Again, only a 60-minute race, but Elliott's going to get up to speed pretty quick here. I guess got to assume that's going to be the case. Field only halfway through their first and only formation lap. They're going through the kink right now. Certainly not a difficult corner to take at 60 miles an hour, but at well over 160 miles an hour, that could be a different story. Question that might be on everyone's minds that loves Road America is, when do we get the rescan? This place just recently repaved. Thought it was pretty good to begin with. I know they rescanned it, man, I want to say a year ago, but it could have been much longer at this point. But a recent scan was done, and then the track decided, we're going to lay some new blacktop down. So yet another scan, hopefully in the works. We'll see. Field working out of turn 14 here, getting ready for the green flag. Hellier, bit of an advantage here. Flo, I don't know if he's hanging back. Pace car pulls off. Barney the flagman with the green in hand.
Ready, green, green, green.
LMP2 field up to speed. GT3 also getting the green flag as they roll down into turn number 1. Kevin Burrows with the early advantage in GT. Brian Zinn took a look to the inside on Dave Seitz, thought better of it. Smart move for Brian Zinn. Kevin Blue slow up the hill. Don't know if he had an issue into turn 5. That hard left-hander at the bottom of the hill. Let's get a look at it quick here. First lap, Kevin Blue in trouble again. either late on the brakes or locked him up. Does a great job to go wide. Has to drive it through the kitty litter here, but he avoids contact with any of the other drivers. So a good move there by Kevin Blue. Cold tires, they don't stop like they're supposed to when they're that chilly. So back out front, Flo Doms, Elliott Hellier. Like we said early on, Flo was not going to take a whole lot of time to get up to speed. At the stripe, lap 1 complete. Flo Doms, your race leader in the overall. First lap, minute 57.85. Again, that was coming to green in one complete circuit. This next time by, I expect to be much faster. Meanwhile, Kevin Burrows leads TLDR SimSport teammate Dave Seats. Seats running in the Audi this week. It's been very familiar seeing Seats in the Mercedes. That's one thing about this league is they do allow the drivers to switch cars, which ordinarily not a big deal. Switching classes, as you've seen here in the practice session at least, the timing tower just a little out of sorts as far as who is where. Looks like it might be okay. No, it's still screwy. Hellier listed as a GT3 driver, minute 58.26, his fast lap. You're not going to see that out of a GT car. So just assume that Hellier, we'll have to keep you posted. It looks right on my end. It just doesn't show properly in the overlay. So Hellier officially running in P2 in LMP2. Flo Doms, the race leader overall in LMP. Sean Roberts technically running in the third spot. We'll get it figured out, folks. Don't you worry. Chris Goins still not able to make the starting grid here. Mike Hamlin, same situation it seems. Jesse Redding in the Mercedes, running back in 20th overall. Redding 12th, well, I guess you could call it 11th in GT. Checking out our race leaders once again. Flo Doms still out in command. Not a big gap back to Sean Roberts, 2.7, but that's third technically. Again, it's not going to display properly on your screen unless you look at the battle box on the right side, your battle for first in class. That part displays correctly. Flo Doms, of course, with the race lead. Hellier in second, less than half a second off the back diffuser of the number 13 machine. A little wide goes Flo Doms, but then again, so does Hellier. Hellier's right there. Gotta say, it's been a while since we've seen a battle for the race lead here in the first 5 minutes of any of these races. Again, this league, like many, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. They penalize the winners at the following race. They have to start with an EOL penalty. And again, it's something that I do like to see. You've got drivers of all different ability levels coming into this league. It does certainly help to prevent the same guy from winning every week. But with that said, there's been a couple of guys, at least in LMP2, that have been lights out fast, and that's Flo Doms and Terry Crouch. Terry won last week after an issue that took out Flo Doms. had to go to the back on the start today, so Flo Dom's coming in with no practice. Got to be very happy with leading this race right now. But again, you've got Elliot Hellier there. First race in this series with the LMP2. He's awfully quick. Not giving up a whole lot here. It's about a quarter second the advantage, if that. Not even a car length off the rear wing of Flo Doms. They battle up through turn 7, the short chute down to the left-hand turn 8. Catch a little bit of the grass there into the carousel. Hard on throttle. 140, 150, 155 miles an hour, 162, a little lift on the throttle, 166 on the exit of the kink. Checking back in here with GT. Kevin Burrows, your race leader. Dave Seats now up into the second spot. Brian Zinn third. Going to have a battle here for this position any moment. In fact, I think it's already starting to heat up. Brian Zinn, we talked about it, he's running third. Again, pay no attention to the number designation on the left of your screen. Elliot Hellier is in an LMP2. He's displayed as GT3. So your race leader in GT is indeed Kevin Burrows. Dave Seats in the audience, second spot. Brian Zinn, as we watch, runs P3. Applying all kinds of pressure to the back of Dave Seats. On the brakes for left-hand turn 5, then back to the throttle, up the hill under the Corvette bridge. Left-hand turn 6, then a quick right for 7, then hurry down the hill into the left-hand turn 8, set him up for the carousel. I think Zinn's a little bit faster. Just going by the last lap, Zinn ran a 2:05.58. Dave Seats was a 2:05.74, so yes, he is faster, and I think if he can get by that Audi, he's going to be even quicker. He may be able to drive away and maybe run down Kevin Burrows. It remains to be seen as they work back through the kink another time. Good run for Zinn out of the kink. Pulls the slipstream down to the Canada corner. Ooh, Seats goes wide, opens the door for Brian Zinn. Into Bill Mitchell. Zinn takes the second spot. Aggressive move out of Brian Zinn. Not overly, but had to force the issue just a bit. Forced Dave Seats into a small mistake. Into Canada corner, went wide, opened the door. Brian Zinn up into P2. Checking in on James Coulibaly, running in the 9th position in LMP. Again, for clarity, take the positions that you see on the left. If it's an LMP2 car, add 1 spot. So James Coulibaly shown as the 8th position. He's actually running 9th just based on where Elliott Hellier is running. Now GT, it's the other way around. Take 1 away. Kevin Burrows listed as P2. Assume he's 1 less, so he's the race leader in GT. That's the scenario there. Kevin Blue running back in the 8th position. Had quite the off track on lap 1 down into turn number 5 where they are headed to right now. Don't know if he just missed his braking point or it was cold tires, but nonetheless, he was way deep in the braking zone, had to run it real wide, went through the gravel trap. Great job avoiding hitting anyone. But it has cost him a few spots here initially on the opening 12 and a half minutes of this race. Back out front, Flo Dom still in command. Elliott Hellier hanging tough there in the 2nd position. I almost think that Elliott is content running in behind. I mean, he's not battling for a championship, simply out here to have a good time, turn some laps, possibly get a race win. But him being tucked in so close to Flo Dom's and almost contact with a Ferrari. Drew Hopkins almost getting punted by the LMP. But with that said, I think Hellier wisely staying in the slipstream of Flo Dom's. It's going to help him save some fuel. Again, typically these races end up being 2-stop races in that 60-minute time period. Top 2 in LMP starting to really reel in some of this GT traffic. I think next on the list here it appears to be Jesse Redding in the Mercedes. Getting word Chris Gennarelli has had an issue out on the course. Moving slowly with some big time right front damage. Definitely a front toe link broken on that machine. He's going to have to come to pit road for sure. Let's see what happened here with Gennarelli. A little late in the action. We'll back it up and see exactly what it was. Really missed it coming down the hill into turn 5. Way to the inside. Oh, just dive bombed it in there. Contact with another LMP. Again, easy for me to comment from up here in the broadcast booth, but too early to be pushing that hard. You had an LMP trying to make a pass on a slow GT car. Gennarelli tried to take advantage. I don't know if he just got too late on the brakes or slid through or just the contact is what did it. But yeah, right front damage. It's going to be hard to turn left there, Chris. Take it easy. One more corner to go and he can hit pit lane. He's going to have to use the quick repair. And I don't know if it's too early or not. He may be able to make this work on fuel. We shall see. Man, he's having a trouble trying to get up into pit lane here. Chris Generelli comes to a stop in his pit box. Quick repair has been used. So he's going to throw some tires on here as well. I don't know if I would have necessarily gone that far, but bed has been made. With all that said, I think he will go to the end on this set of tires, make one more stop for fuel if he can. Generelli back in the fight. So with that, change for the race lead. Elliott Hellier goes to P1, takes it away from Flo Doms. Let's go back and take a look at it. The pass for the race lead. Looks like Flo went real wide down into left-hand turn 5. Up the hill, puts the right sides in the gravel just a bit, opens the door. Hellier had a great entrance and exit through turn 5. Top of the hill through the Corvette Bridge, the left-hand turn 6. Elliott Hellier takes over the top spot. LMP leaders getting into GT traffic, the GT leaders at this point. Kevin Burrows still the race leader in GT. Still on the lead lap, but not for long with the pace that Hellier and Doms are throwing down. Jesse Redding in trouble in turn 14 as well. What happened here with Jesse? This is out of Canada corner. Oh, just turns in. I don't know if he didn't see the LMP or what the situation may have been. Brandon Domain in the number 20. Redding gets a hard impact into that concrete barrier. Both drivers struggling to try and get it back to the pit lane. Jesse Redding, significant damage on his Mercedes. He's going to have to use the quick repair as well. So you see Chris Goins still sitting there parked in the pit lane. Hasn't turned a lap in the race session, unfortunately. Well, it says he might have turned 2 laps. Nevertheless, still having some hardware issues, not able to get into this. Tough break for Chris Goins. Nick Matthews looks like a scheduled stop for the BMW. And we've got some LMP traffic in pit lane as well. James Coulibaly, Sean Roberts alike into pit lane. Sean Roberts just fresh off the super late model road course win. That was at Road Atlanta just this past Sunday evening. Sean Roberts running in the Noble Can-Am series that runs on Sundays. 2 races left in that series. Going to be Sonoma in a couple of weeks and then finish out the season out at Long Beach. Multi-class racing, super late model against late model stock. Of course, the super late, much more power. But the late model stock, a little more balanced, a little more nimble. Some tracks, the super late just walks away. Other tracks, the late model stock pretty close. Coulibaly finishes up his pit work. He's back at it. So Hellier still with the race lead since taking it away from Flo Doms. Hellier with about a 4.5 second advantage over second place, Flo Doms. Flo trying to work through some GT traffic as well. Joe Tucker in the BMW. Chris Goins, if you're still out there watching the stream here, Fill us in. What is your hardware issue? Is it wheel? Is it pedal? Is it VR? What's going on? Ooh, big wiggle for Flo Doms in turn 5 up the hill. That's going to cost him just a bit. Again, you see here in the timing tower to the left, Flo Doms listed as the race leader. That is incorrect. Elliot Hellier, he's actually listed as the GT leader. He is not in a GT car, however. He's in an LMP2. He is the overall leader of this race right now with Flo Doms running second. Terry Crouch, after his go to the tail of the line penalty, EOL, he's actually running third in LMP2, so looking for a solid points day. He's about 12 and a half, 13 seconds back from race leader Flo Doms. I'm curious to see if he can work any strategy here, make his way up and make this a 3-car LMP battle. We'll see if that comes to fruition. With that, though, 22 and a half minutes in here from Road America. We're going to step aside, go HBR TV side by side, so you guys don't miss a minute of the action. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I met Marcos Garza.
Back at Road America, 26 minutes in the books, 14 laps completed. Pit stops, first round of them at least, wrapped up. Elliott Hellier is still the race leader. He's got now 5.7 seconds over Flo Doms in the second position. Terry Crouch in third. So far on TLDR SimSport, top 3 in LMP. Kevin Burrows running in the top spot in GT. He's also a TLDR SimSport driver. Brian Zinn, kind of the fly in the ointment between that. He's running in P2, but Dave Seats, another TLDR SimSport driver, running in P3. Seats able to maintain pretty close deficit, close distance really to Brian Zinn. Both drivers making their pit stops about the same time at lap 11. It's a 21.2 second stop for Zinn, 20.57 for Dave Seats, a little bit faster. Chris Generelli in the number 19, working his way back through some GT traffic. Remember, had an issue in turn 5 with Jesse Redding, I believe. That might have been Brandon Domain, but Generelli having his own issues getting down into turn 5 on the brakes. Sean Roberts still back in P6 in LMP. Dave Seats all over the back bumper of Brian Zinn, though. We may have a battle for this position before we know it. Kevin Burrows doesn't mind. He continues to lead in this category. Want to go back just about a lap ago. Nick Batista reportedly crashing. Batista in the Mercedes as well. This is out of turn 5 also. Seems to be the hot corner here as they work up the hill into the Corvette bridge. We'll go full speed. Dives it to the inside and contact is made. That's with Drew Hopkins. Not a major incident, but cost both drivers some pretty significant track position. Right on board with Brian Zinn, looking back at Dave Seats. Not too far behind Dave Seats, Josh Hagee in the Ferrari. To the brake pedal. Dave Seats late to the brakes. Closes the gap on entry, but Zinn drives out of the corner. Another update on Chris Goins. He just confirmed there the wheelbase issues. Was forced to calibrate on initial joining. Now the turn angle doesn't match the sim angle. That's a problem. Hopefully for Chris Goins' sake, he gets that worked out. Brian Zinn and Dave Seats work their way up the hill. Now downhill, once again back into the left-hand turn number 5. We'll see if Seats can close the gap onto braking here down into the left-hander. It's right there, less than a car length. Up the hill again to the Corvette bridge. Oh, almost contact. Dave drove it in way deep. Has to check up considerably. He's going to lose a lot of ground to avoid contact. Meanwhile, we'll check on Elliot Hellier here, still your LMP2 and overall leader, just running his fastest lap of the day, 1 minute 52.32 seconds. It's over 0.2 faster than Flo Doms' best lap. 0.04 quicker than Terry Crouch. Crouch still back about 9 seconds from Hellier, because we're just past halfway. Top three drivers all running within 1/10 of each other. Hellier, again, his last lap of 52.32. Flo Doms of 52.44. Terry Crouch, 52.36. Hopkins almost getting caught up, turning in on the LMP2 machine. Didn't see him until the last minute. So last lap was Hellier's fastest of the afternoon. Crossed the stripe, last lap of 53.05. Not quite as fast, but again, some traffic to contend with. Battle for position. Zinn and Seat side by side, maybe trading paint. Top of turn 6. Still side by side in contact. Zinn goes around. I don't know the situation there, but it looked a little aggressive to me on first glance. Brian Zinn certainly not happy, trying to get back into this thing. Let's try and get a better look at this one. Let's back it up a little further, try to get a better angle on it. This should do it. Again, quarter speed. Dave Seat's way off on the curb. Coming back across. I know he can probably see Brian Zinn. And yeah, there was a pretty big bit of net code there. Get to the right rear of that Porsche, sends him around. Without the net code, hard to say if there would have been contact or not, but nonetheless, the end result is the same. Brian Zinn goes for a ride through the gravel trap. Looks like he keeps it out of the tire pack. But loses that second spot in GT and a ton of track position. So we'll see if Brian Zinn can regroup. Track position lost. I just don't think he's got enough time to make that up. Again, less than 25 minutes remain here from Road America. I want to go back once again here. I want to watch this. Rewind it a little further here. I want to watch it from the onboard the best that we can from Dave Seats. Go to his onboard camera, full speed. Remember, he's got Brian Zinn to his outside. That perspective, I don't know if he just didn't see him or what the case may be. Sean Roberts in trouble as well. This is between turns 1 and 2. See what happened here with the 66 machine. Again, full speed. Just ran it wide. Gets the left side in the grass and then relatively, well, I don't know if it was a huge impact, but These delicate LMP2 machines, that's not one you want to have happen. So now Dave Seats still running in the second spot in GT. Now he's got company from Josh Heggie. Heggie makes a move to the inside, down into turn number 5, trying to outbrake the Audi. He does, gets alongside Dave Seats up the hill into turn 6. Seats with a good drive up the hill, still maintains the position, goes wide again. Does he make contact with the Ferrari? No, they get away with it, still side by side, now into the right-hander. Heggie's gonna take the position handily here, now the left-hand turn 8. So Josh Heggie now up into the second position in GT. LMP2 still trying to work its way through, threading the needle between the two GT cars. Flo Dom's trying to get it done without losing any pace. So Hellier still your race leader. Still has 6.5 seconds on second place running driver Flo Doms. Joe Tucker and Nick Batista battling for position. This would be for the 17th spot overall. Tucker alongside into the kink, checks up, smart move. It's hard enough to get through there one by one, let alone side by side. Oh, Batista makes a mistake, drives it off the race course into the gravel trap, gets a piece of the tire pack. That's going to give Tucker the position. So very quickly, though, with that pass for position, Joe Tucker opts to hit pit lane. Other drivers as well. Brandon Domain, the LMP2 driver, he's in the pits as well. Tucker goes up on the jack stands. He's going to change tires, get some fuel. Brandon Domain in his pit stall as well. Looks like fuel only for the 20. Domain down the way, finishes up his pit work. 19.95 seconds. Remember that, fuel only, just shy of 20 seconds. Chris Gianarelli running 8th in LMP. Josh Heggie still 2nd in GT category. Quite a ways back, 7.8 seconds off the race lead with Kevin Burrows in command in the BMW. Other drivers hitting pit lane here, James Coulibaly, Sean Roberts, Chris Gianarelli, all on pit lane here for scheduled service. Coulibaly going to take tires here. And track temp 89 degrees, not very hot. Again, a relatively old, wore-out surface scan here at Road America. That very well could be the indicator as to why these drivers are taking tires. Josh Heggie with a little bit of breathing room back to Dave Seats in the lap car of Joe Tucker. Seats, though, going to able to pull the slipstream down the straightaway. See if he pulls out to pass. Move on Joe Tucker again. Tucker running in 18th overall. Seats gets to the inside. Oh, and Tucker goes around. Tucker in trouble here on corner exit. So Joe Tucker slips down to the 19th spot. Let's get a look, see what happened here with Joe Tucker. I know there was close quarters battling there. Oh, Tucker just goes wide, gets the left rear in the slippery stuff, into the grass and gravel, sends himself into the tire pack. Was worried there for a moment it was due to contact. It looks like just hard racing, though. Tucker not on the same lap. Daniel Clark running in the 14th position overall. 7th in GT. Sorry, 5th in GT. Again, if you're just joining us, you're going to see Elliott Hellier in the first position in GT. However, he is driving an LMP2 machine. Flo Doms is not your race leader in LMP. It's Elliott Hellier. 2nd in LMP, Flo Doms. Then 3rd, Terry Crouch. 4th, Kevin Blue. 5th, Lee Tucker. Back to GT, Kevin Burrows is indeed your race leader in GT. Josh Heggie is 2nd, Dave Seats 3rd, Mike Piazza 4th, and 5th, Daniel Clark. Meanwhile, Lee Tucker hits pit lane for his likely to be final stop with 14 and a half minutes remaining. Tucker stays on the ground here. It's going to be fuel only. The 32 machine. Quick stop, 13.7 seconds for Lee Tucker. He's down and away. Should be good to go to the end with 14 minutes remaining. Again, we got to watch Elliott Hellier, still the race leader in LMP and overall. When does he make his final stop? He made his first pit stop at lap 13. Or lap 25. If he stays on the same cycle here, I expect him here at lap 26, or, well, maybe next time by, we'll see. It just depends on how far he took things on that first round of pit stops. Flo Dom still running in second, but now 7.2 seconds behind race leader Hellier. Terry Crouch in third, starting to reel in Flo Doms. It's about 3.75 seconds from P2 to P3. Terry Crouch running out of time, but slowly but surely starting to reel in the 13. Kevin Burrows in the pits for his final stop. Burrows down and away, 12.05 seconds. Josh Heggie, Dave Seats, second and third, also in the pits together at the same time. Heggie's down and away, so is Dave Seats, just about the same amount of pit stop time. Was 13.75 for Seats at 13.37 for Heggie. A few tenths quicker. You see what that translates to on the racetrack. 2.5 seconds the advantage over Dave Seats does Josh Heggie have. Flo Dom's in pit lane. So is Terry Crouch. Hellier can maintain consistent, stay out of trouble, he's going to have a race win, but this could be the battle for the second spot. Doms and Crouch. Fuel only for both drivers. Doms is down and away. Terry Crouch down and away. So pit stops for Flo Doms, 12.13 seconds. Terry Crouch, 12.45 seconds. Again, a few tenths difference between the two. So we've got one more HBR TV side-by-side break. We got to get it out of the way right now. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Sgarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
at Road America. 7 minutes to go. Elliott Hellier still your race leader in LMP and overall. Still a 5.5 second advantage over Flo Doms. After the pit cycle, that deficit shrinking slightly. Remember, it was about 7 seconds plus prior to the pit stop. Hellier still with the race lead. Battles here. Not much of one for Kevin Burrows other than working through some lap traffic. Josh Heggie still running in the second spot. He's got 3.6 seconds on David Seats in P3. Brian Zinn still running in the 4th position in GT. Remember, he had some contact with Dave Seats. He's coming up through turns 12, 13, and 13A. Zinn and Seats made contact. It was more so out of 13A. Sure, there's going to be words exchanged post-race after that one. Again, if you look at the replay, though, from our perspective at least, seemed to be a little bit of net code that triggered that one. Hard to say if Seats would have come all the way over or not, but nevertheless, end result was Brian Zinn was in the gravel trap. Battle for the second spot shaping up here in LMP. You've got Flo Doms in P2 with Terry Crouch attacking. 4.5 minutes to go. Doing all he can to hold off Terry Crouch right now. Last laps for these drivers was a minute 54.08 for Doms, a minute 53.49 for Terry Crouch. Again, lap traffic likely coming into play, but these guys right on top of each other. It's like Monza all over again. Remember the start of the season at Monza, these drivers both running awfully close together. No win penalties to be concerned with on that first race of the season, but one driver made one small mistake and it cost them both. Well, here they are again with just a few minutes remaining here from Road America. Crouch looking to the inside, now changes lanes, goes to the high side, down the main straightaway into turn 1. Doms takes the defensive line, maintains the second spot. Terry Crouch swatched over once again, trying to make the move down into turn 3. Side by side, Flo Doms is going to have the better exit once again. Again, through all this, Hellier just running away, 7.86 seconds, but this is the battle to watch with just about 3 minutes to go. Left-hand turn 5, once again up the hill into the Corvette Bridge. Terry Crouch, a little oversteer on exit. Now another hard left-hander. Now back down the hill. Another hard left, turn number 8, will set him up for the carousel. Laying on the brakes is Terry Crouch. Little breathing room for Flo Doms as he exits the carousel. Hammer down all the way to the kink. Once again, 159, 60, 61, 62, 63 miles an hour to the exit of the kink. Now will Terry Crouch work with the slipstream here, try to close the gap once again. It's extended now to just about 7/10 of a second. Remember, Terry Crouch was right there on the back diffuser of Flo Doms. Again, these guys are teammates. Terry's not going to be too aggressive, but he wants that spot. And every point matters here. PFR Sports Car Championship. Up the hill, a minute and a half remaining. White flag in the air. Cody Dean in the stream chat. Down to the wire. Overcooked his tires. Tires win races. What's that line? If we can't find a way to keep it from melting the damn tires, we're never going to win a race. I think I put the explicative in the wrong spot, but you get the idea. Terry Crouch right there once again down the hill. Another opportunity under the brakes into turn 5. Right there, less than a car length. Good exit, a little oversteer again for Terry Crouch. Up the hill, GT traffic going to come into play. Joe Tucker in the BMW yields to the race leader. Stays wide for Terry Crouch as well. Big run for Terry Crouch down the hill. Another left-hand turn 8. Still nothing doing. Might have a run out of the corner. Better entry for Terry Crouch. Sets him up for the carousel. Goes left, goes right, goes right, goes left. A couple of car lengths now. Let's see if he's got the slipstream. This is the final opportunity. Final lap for second place. Meanwhile, Elliott Hellier down into Canada corner for the final time with the race lead well in hand. Cody Dean, now buy me some lunch at the highway joint, Tim. That's all she wrote, though, for Elliott Hellier up the hill for the final time. Barney grabs the checkered flag, and this one is over. Elliott Hellier takes the LMP2 win. Up the hill for the final time, Flo Doms manages to hold off teammate Terry Crouch. It's a TLDR Sim Sport 1-2-3 in LMP. Kevin Burrows takes the checkered flag as well, so it's a class sweep. LMP going to TLDR in the top 3 positions. Kevin Burrows taking the race win in GT. Got to hand it to those TLDR Sim Sport drivers putting on a show here at the late stages of this race. With that, we're going to step aside here, take a quick break, be back with our race winners in class after this. Stay with us.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Back at Road America, round 11 of the PFR Sports Car Championship. Elliott Hellier jumping out of the GT and into the LMP2 takes the race win here at Road America. Let's pull Elliott up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our LMP and overall race winner, Elliott Hellier. It's Steve in the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear, my friend.
All right, Elliott, again, congratulations. We just talked about how you've been running the GT car throughout the majority of this season, took a couple of weeks off, and then jump into the LMP2. And here you are with the race win at Road America. Tell us about your race, practice, strategies coming into tonight. What was the game plan?
I'm going to be totally transparent, and to be honest, I didn't really do much practice. I haven't been in the sim since I missed out on Sebring, so God, I can't remember what round it was before that, but basically that was my last time in the sim, so tonight's the first time I've been in it since then. So I thought, oh, okay, I'll jump in LMP2. Obviously made sure I asked Flo, asked Terry, made sure they were cool with it. So I just jumped in with an open mind, really, just see how I got on, and it just worked out that obviously Terry with his end of line penalty was obviously out of the question at the start, but obviously made his way through. Flo had a couple of issues at the start, bit of traffic as well, which kind of gave us a bit of a gap, and then I guess I just drove it to the end, just tried to be nice and safe, nice and comfortable.
Well, we watched some battles going on between Terry Crouch and Flo Doms there in the closing stages of this race. You remained relatively unchallenged throughout the 60-minute session we had here tonight. Take home that checkered flag. Next week, I guess the question is, at Watkins Glen, are you going to stick to this LMP or are you going to jump back in the GT car?
I think I'm going to stick with LMP, to be honest, because Watkins in the LMP is actually a lot of fun. So I think it'll definitely be LMP2 at Watkins Glen for me, maybe to the displeasure of Terry and Flo, I don't know.
Well, it's good to see another fast guy out front here in LMP. Again, Watkins Glen in this prototype. Certainly very high speed, very high commitment. It takes a special kind of skill to get around that place quickly. We certainly look forward to it. Elliott, again, congratulations on the race win here at Road America. Who do you want to shout out to?
It's got to be the usual suspects, to be honest. It's obviously all my boys at TLDR. My beautiful, lovely girlfriend, who is madly awake for some reason with me, and in the sim room. So big shout out to her for letting me race at stupid o'clock in the morning. There's not many better halves that do that, so I'm very grateful for that. And obviously you guys for putting on the broadcast, putting on the series, letting me race. It's been really enjoyable. Just a shame that I kind of missed so many rounds in the end. Hopefully, whichever championship comes up next, I'll be able to participate in every race.
Well, we certainly look forward to having you here, regardless of whether it's me broadcasting or if there's no broadcast at all. Maybe I get to race against you. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I got a shot against you, but good competition. It only makes everybody better. We appreciate having you here in the series. It's been fun to watch. Again, one more round coming up next week at Watkins Glen. Elliott, again, congratulations on the race win here tonight, and wish you the best of luck next week.
Thanks, man. Take it easy.
Elliott Hellier, your race winner here from Road America in LMP2. Next, it's going to be another TLDR SimSport driver. It's Kevin Burrows. We'll pull him up in the broadcast booth. It's been a little while since we've seen Kevin out on track. Kevin, Steve, the HBR TV booth. You got a copy?
I do. How are you?
We're doing good, Kevin. Again, congratulations on the win here at Road America. Haven't seen you out there as recently, but came back here and took a checkered flag, man. Tell us about your race, the strategies that you had to prepare with. What got you to victory lane here today?
I went into the pits and I was trying to decide whether or not I wanted to take tires or not, but I had, I think, about a 6-second lead, and I knew it was going to take, roughly 3 seconds for tires. So I did that, and it seemed to pay off there, towards the end. The car felt good, tires felt good, everything seemed really good. But other than that, not really any strategy, just take as least amount of fuel as possible at the end and just hit the apexes.
With all that said, of course, we go to Watkins Glen next week to wrap up the season. First question on the books here, are you going to stick with the BMW next week?
Yeah, might as well. I've had it this long. Ain't no point in trading it off now.
It's like an old girlfriend. You just can't get rid of her, right?
No comment.
Well, nonetheless, Kevin, again, congratulations. Good to have you back, and we wish you the best of luck next week at the Glen. Who do you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
As always, my wife and my kid for letting me enjoy my hobby, and you all up there, y'all do a great job, and I thank my team, TLDR, and shout out to my buddy Denny. He's got his rig down at the moment, but he's planning on getting it back up soon, so I'd be glad to see him back on the track too.
Well, good to hear it. Bring him over here for one of these races. That'd be a blast. Bring some more fresh names over into the series.
Yep, for sure.
All right, Kev. Well, again, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations on the race win here at Road America, and good luck next week at the Glen.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
Kevin Burrows, your race winner in GT. It's going to wrap it up for our interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's get a look at our race results. First and foremost, we'll look at LMP2. Elliot Hellier, of course, your race winner. Things are going to be a little bit skewed here because Hellier started his season in the GT car, so these results are a little off. Of course, Flo Dom's actually your second place finisher. Terry Crouch was third. Kevin Blue, fourth. Lee Tucker was fifth. Sixth went to Chris Generelli. Seventh, James Koulibaly. Eighth, Brandon Domain. Sean Roberts was ninth. And Chris Goins is listed as ninth in LMP, but he was actually a DNS. I think did not start officially in GT. He was running the Audi tonight. Is what it is. We'll get that squared away, hopefully, for the final race of the season. But into the GT category, it says Elliot Hellier, but you see by the yellow number designation, that was an LMP2. So officially, your race winner in GT was indeed Kevin Burrows. Josh Heggie in the Ferrari was second. Dave Seitz in the Audi comes home in third. Brian Zinn was fourth. Fifth was Daniel Clark. Nick Matthews was sixth. Seventh, Mike Piazza. Rob Henry, ninth. Eighth. Ninth was Joe Tucker. We'll get there eventually. 10th was Nick Batista. 11th, Drew Hopkins. Jesse Redding was 12th. Mike Hamlin, 13th. And officially, Chris Goins was 14th. Again, having hardware issues with the wheelbase, unable to get this race in the books here tonight. We wish him the best of luck at Watkins Glen next week. Certainly that should be a better showing for Chris Goins if he can get his hardware concerns straightened out. Got to thank you guys all for tuning in tonight. Congratulations to our race winners, of course, Elliot Hellier and Kevin Burrows, both of TLDR SimSport, with some momentum heading into Watkins Glen next week. Tune in for it again here, HBR TV. You can find us hbrtv1.com. Click the live tab and you can watch all the broadcasts there on each day. We try to get that updated as much as possible. If you can't find us there, which that's probably the easiest, check us out on YouTube. It's youtube.com/HBRTV and the number 1. Give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe. We do appreciate it. And most importantly, if you're watching these broadcasts, I see how many of y'all watch the races. I'm not getting that many likes. Either I'm not doing a good job or you just guys are forgetting to do it. So here's your reminder. Hit that like button. It helps us out. It helps the stream. It helps the league. It's not just about me, guys. It makes a big difference to help the leagues that we're trying to cover here. Get some eyeballs on them. Maybe some new drivers come into the series and race with everybody. That's always a bonus. So with that said, that's all for me. I'm wrapped up. Road America in the books, round 11. Next week, round 12, the final round at Watkins Glen. Make sure you join us. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.